Surfaces are the part of a material that interact with the outside world, so they're really important for scientists like me and for all of us. When surfaces don't work as we want them to, it can be expensive to modify them for our use. For example, corrosion of surfaces is estimated to cost the world's economy €3 trillion each year, which amounts to a whopping 3% of global GDP. So, understanding how surfaces work and how we can modify them to behave the way we want to is crucial. It's also very important to understand how surfaces work at the tiny nanoscale, which is a scale so small that it's invisible to the naked eye. Perhaps the most important surfaces to understand today are those involved with the microchip, the brains inside our mobile phones and computers. It has become important to get as many components as possible onto a microchip in order to increase the processing speed of new devices. The microchip inside your mobile phone has gone from having a few thousand components on it when they were invented in the 1970s to having over 10 billion in the latest models. These components are all crammed onto the space about the size of a postage stamp, with the individual parts now as small as 1/10,000th the width of a human hair, and are made of dozens of layers of different materials, each just a few atoms thick, sequentially grown on top of each other, layer by layer, sometimes just one single sheet of atoms at a time. Having such incredibly precise control over this nanoscale Lego set means constantly pushing the boundaries of surface chemistry and understanding how different materials interact. The tools that allow chip makers to pattern the areas where they want to grow material can cost in excess of €150 million each. In DCU, we work on the development of new processes to deposit all kinds of materials which do a range of different jobs in computer chips. And we're working on new ways to block off areas from growth, which means less reliance on the patterning machines that I mentioned before. We are able to grow these materials and then very precisely determine how they've interacted with the surface on which they have been grown. This work is helping to squeeze every last drop of performance out of the silicon chip as work continues on even more powerful devices like quantum computers, which have the potential to revolutionize the way we live.